Hey everybody. So I wanted to just do a quick video to talk about this interesting time that we are in between eclipses. So this week we're coming up to a solar eclipse in Gemini, 19 degrees. So if you have any planets, particularly in the mutable signs, but especially in Gemini, you will be feeling this, or Sagittarius, because we've been experiencing this Sag Gemini axis of change. And one of the ways that I see this axis is that we are in the whole process of deleting or updating our belief systems. Sagittarius, whether we have planets there or not, we all have Sag somewhere in our charts, um, is the place where we have almost unquestioned beliefs, things that we just hold as right, real, and true for us. And on the May 26th, when we had that lunar eclipse, we felt this like it kind of reminds me of like a maybe it's not a Lego set, but like if you build something out of blocks and then it just starts toppling down. And so the part of our charts that has been affected is the Sagittarian part, the part that has some unquestioned beliefs. Beliefs are ideas we have about the nature of reality that we don't question, right? So they appear to be true. And so that's the place where we've been dismantling. We've been letting go. We've been saying, I don't know. I don't know about those beliefs anymore. I'm not sure that that's right or real or true for me anymore. And in order to even let in new information, whenever I think of the Sag and Gemini axis, I think of like somebody walking in a park with earplugs in. They've got their iPod and they're not even, their eyes are down, they're walking, they're in their heads, and their hearing is blocked off. And so whenever we have an eclipse, which is basically just evolutionary change for us, it's like somebody's pulling those earplugs out and we're suddenly aware we're not just in our heads and in our own like solitary world. We have to be open to the sights and sounds around us. And that's the Gemini space. That's new information. That's hearing the birds sing as you walk along and not just listening to the circle of your own thoughts. So in order to bring in new information, to we're always in creation mode or reaction mode, but we're always creating something new in our lives. And as we're moving forward, if we're creating from um, just a sense like the scaffolding of old beliefs, we'll just keep creating the same thing over and over again. But if we are able to stand back from those creations and the beliefs that set those in motion, and then let in new information, new perspectives, new ideas, dialogue, then we are listening. And the reason I'm talking about this is that when we have this new moon eclipse on the 10th, because it's in Gemini, we're going to be hearing new information. We're going to be aware of messages, and messages can come in many different ways. So think about how you like to receive your information, and maybe look for new ways to receive information, as well as the old ways. As you're watching a television show, your favorite show, and you suddenly they're talking about something, and it kind of lights you up and makes you aware of a new perspective, even though it's scripted. That's still information that you can use for your own life. It may just give you a different perspective. You'll say, God, that is just the weirdest show. Those people are so weird. But then you'll think, well, what if I saw life that way? How would that change my creations and what's propelling me forward? So I think this very much as we're taking the iPods out of our ears and listening to, the sound of the birds or the sound of whatever's coming in. We're listening to new information. We're open to a new seed being planted. And what I like about this is we've got We have Saturn at 13 degrees and it's retrograde. So it's grinding back along the same old path it's been on, helping us reconstruct. You know, it's like road construction in the summer. It's reconstructing a part of us that we're working on wherever we have Saturn. But Saturn is speaking very harmoniously with this new moon and saying, you know, yes to the new idea, yes to the new perspective. Listen to a different point of view and get out of your old set, stodgy, I know it all way of thinking of something so that you can be informed and get some help with a new way of looking at something. So, there, you know, I mean, whenever we have this stuff going on in Sag and Gemini, of course, we also have that Neptune influence, which causes a little bit of fogginess and a little bit of like, you know, confusion. And we've gotten really accustomed to that ever since we've had Neptune in Pisces, right? Because we've got a long transit with that one. And so it's about, you know, so we've been building our tolerance for that upgrade that Neptune wants us to have. Like, don't be so certain about your point of view about the world and reality, because I'm going to create some mystification here. I'm going to add some mist to this and see what comes out of that. Sometimes it's very confusing when we have the Neptune coming in. So on the day of the eclipse, where Mercury's together with the eclipse, Mercury moves in closer to the sun in the evening and has its Cazimi moment, which is it's like its connection with higher information. You know, if the sun is, I mean, the ancients thought of the sun as the king, and that Mercury was, you know, talking to the king and getting the king's secrets. But the other way you can see that is that there's like this flood of new, much higher information that can inform your thinking process. So if you were to just sit quietly on that evening and just, you know, not necessarily have to take action on that moment, but just drink in that upgrade, just get that upgrade. It's kind of like, it's like a system upgrade, you know, with your computer. It's a software upgrade that we're getting. And as the weeks unroll after this eclipse, we'll start to know how to put those pieces in place. And what is the new information we've been looking at? While you're in the middle of an eclipse, I feel like it's the eye of the storm and we're not completely clear. We don't have all the information and we're just sort of on this magical carpet ride of getting upgrades, getting new information so that we can continue our building process, but do it with new perspective. And sometimes, especially around eclipse time, you'll get just this incredibly bright, different idea. And especially with this eclipse, we're going to get bright new ideas. So I'd love to hear what ideas come in for you for this eclipse. Just stay steady. You know, as a client told me recently, I feel like something's changing, but I don't know what it is. And that's the perfect way to describe how our emotional bodies are experiencing this type of upgrade. We know something's going on. We're not quite sure what it is yet. It's not quite time to take action, but we are going to take in new information and feel like, at a cellular level, almost feel like, okay, I get it now. I get where I'm supposed to go. I get what I'm supposed to do and the new way to do it. So I hope this was helpful. You know, give me some feedback and let me know, and power through this new moon eclipse. Enjoy.